Hello! In this video we'll be talking about Aztec Warfare. Aztec Warfare itself is very similar to Maya Warfare in that they used a lot of the same weapons. They used the club with obsidian blades embedded into it. They used stone axes, spears, same sort of shields, arrows, blowguns, all kinds of stuff like that. One of the main purposes for their warfare was in order to get captives for their temples. Like the book here says, you probably wouldn't want to be an Aztec sacrifice, because they would cut out your heart and sacrifice it to their gods. Their gods didn't have blood, and in order to live, they needed to have sacrifices of blood. And so one of the ways that Aztecs performed their warfare is that they would send an ambassador to offer their protection and politely would tell them the advantages to trading with the empire. So either trade with us or bad things are going to happen. And you're given 20 days to consider. If they refused, more ambassadors would show up and say, hey, listen, if you don't join us, we're going to destroy you. And to show how confident they were that the Aztecs would win in this war, they would give the leaders a magic potion that would make them strong in battle and give them and they would give lots of weapons to the warriors and say, here, if you're going to fight us, you might as well be armed. 20 days later, if the city still refused, a third ambassador would show up and threaten them with all kinds of hellfire and damnation, blood-curdling threats. They would say they would come destroy their temples and slay their populace, burn their temples, and then a crippling tribute would be imposed upon them. And so, if the city again refused to join the Aztecs, they would come and fulfill their promises. And in order to select the day for when a war would take place, an Aztec priest would select the luckiest day for combat. They would play war drums to summon everyone to battle, and when the army moved, cities would feed the army as it went. But if a soldier stole anything, they're executed. In these pictures, you can see different uniforms that Aztec warriors wore. The picture with all the guys in the fancy pajamas are actually of Jaguar warriors, and you became a Jaguar warrior after you captured a certain number of captives in war. And the picture itself, you can see it's kind of computer generated. It's from a video game called Medieval Total War 2 Kingdoms, and that the company that makes these games tries to be as accurate as possible in their depictions. They fail in some aspects, but overall they're pretty good. And a Jaguar Knight, his responsibility was to spy out lands for attack. They would signal with bird calls, and the soldiers would march according to whatever city they were from. Eagle Knights, the guys in the bottom left corner and bottom right, it was their duty to attack at dawn and before, everyone's awake, and they would make as much noise as possible while the Jaguar Knights went around and encircled everyone. One of the interesting things about the Aztecs is their gender roles in warfare. Women could go to war if they had a talent for it, and there was even some instances of Aztec female generals. And one of the other things that the Aztecs believed is that they equated childbirth with war. It was the woman's battleground. And so if a woman died in war, she went to the same heaven that a male would go to if he died in battle. So whenever there were no wars, the cities of the Triple Alliance, they would have a different competition. They would have a war called the War of the Flowers. And these were ceremonial tournaments where Aztec warriors would go to their neighboring cities and capture as many people as they could. Whoever had the most captives at the end of battle got the main prize, and that could be territory, it could be wealth, it could be prestige, all kinds of things. So this was a brief synopsis of Aztec warfare and how they fought. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the comments. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.